Yo guys, so in today's episode we're going to talk about Big Time. Actually, there's been a lot of noise around the game lately. There's been a lot of hype. They just released the token, and 5 days ago they just started their preseason. So there's a lot to talk about. Also, the question on everyone's mind is this the game that will bring the Web3 gaming into Valhalla? Or start the gaming bull run. So that's definitely, we're going to talk about this a little bit more. And so basically there's a lot to talk about. I also played the game a little bit earlier, before now, then, and I can tell you guys what is also my impression of the game and what is my approach towards Big Time. So guys, if you're excited for this one, smash the like button, subscribe, and let's go. All right, guys. So for those of you who've been living under the rock, Big Time is MMO RPG, well, action RPG, I would say. The combat is pretty fast-paced, pretty intense, I would say. Although it feels like something that you already played before, so it has this. It's easy to onboard new players. Although it has really nicely constructed in-game economy, at least what we see is the beginning of it. Right now, more and more people coming every day. The studio behind it is, well, professional. They've got a lot of funding in 2021 in the previous bull market, and they are really solid with marketing, how they kind of hype the game. Through influencers and all other aspects. So right now they just released the token. The token dropped like 5 days ago. Same with preseason, where you finally are able to earn the token while you're playing. And this also created some traction on their market, because if you can see right now, their token basically is pumping. So definitely there's a lot of interest. But in case you want to invest, you have to remember this. There's a lot of players who received this token through playing in earlier stages. So there will be they will be incentivized to play at some point, to sell at some point. So you have to keep in mind that, you know, this game right now, I have a feeling it's all about earning the token. So you kind of want to sell it to get your money, and at some point I think we will see this happen. Although right now the game is still hyped, so more and more people coming in, and this makes the economy sustainable, at least for now. And here's how you earn the token. In order to earn the token, you need to have hourglass. Hourglass is like an item that is just, it has this time limit that is being used, and to make it you need to buy a Timewarden. Timewarden is basically like a crafting space where you are able to craft or charge those, and those bad boys pumped dramatically. Right now the floor is $389. So if you want to play this game and if you want to make token from this game, right now you have to buy this warden for almost $400. So you have to ask yourself, how fast are you able to, you know, get return on your investment? I know people right now are able to craft those time wardens or hourglasses daily, making around $300-400 a day. But those are the players who usually, from what I know, they're the players who already had some assets in Big Time. They had also, they also received their token drop, and really they heavily invested sometimes back. So if you really think that you're gonna just jump in on a game and you're gonna make $400 a day, well, I'm sorry, I have to disappoint you. Probably not. First, now you need to spend, and I think that those prices right now, this is like first stage, everything is hyped, and so at some point buyers will be a little bit, you know, tired, and those people who bought in, they maybe want to sell it after playing a week two, when they see that maybe there's not that much of money to be made for them immediately, so prices might dump a little bit. But then again, I've been wrong before, right? So might be also a scenario that you're just going to see more and more people coming, so there's more and more interest, and actually those prices will go up. This you have to decide for yourself. But basically, what convinces me that it's going to be rather the first scenario is the game loop itself. So, guys, after playing for a while, I must say that, well, Big Time is at some point something that feels fresh because of the in-game economy, and that everything is on the blockchain. Basically has this few elements that are really like bullish. So easy player onboarding, you don't need to have a wallet or something. You can jump into the game. They have like a wallet created for you where you can store your assets. You can basically play, and during the game you will get an NFT that you can literally later on sell on the market. So there's a lot of those like cool things that makes you hype. But when you jump in the game, basically the whole game loop is make a party and go on the dungeon runs with your friends and just, kill monsters and collect loot. Basically, there's a lot of things that I don't like in this game loop. I have a feeling that everything is so far and you need to run and just waste time every quest. Sometimes when you try to do just speed run through the dungeon without killing monsters, and you approach the barrier before entry to the final boss, there's going to be a suddenly quest that you have to go back and kill some monsters. So you have to go run on the other side of the map, which is pretty big and forces you to run a lot to kill some more monsters, just to so you spend more time in this quest. So I really don't see, there's not really many super skills or any super unique abilities. It just feels standard. The standard is okay, don't get me wrong. I just didn't feel too excited. After 2 hours of playing, I got kind of bored. But I'm also not a grinder. I'm kind of looking also for more like adventure in a game. So I like Knights of Old Republic. I really liked World of Warcraft, and I really liked Neverwinter, because there was this storyline that I really got me excited, and I could kind of like get into the character that I'm playing. And here I don't have any connection with those characters. You don't know anything about them. You vaguely know anything about the world, and you need to save something because time is like making everything being twisted, and you have different monsters in those locations, like different, there are some robots and some crabs and stuff like that. You're basically killing it without really knowing why are you doing this. I don't have this incentive as a player, like not incentive. I don't have this reason behind why am I doing this from my character's perspective. So only looking by that, I don't think that it's the game that will get me hooked for a long time. But then again, there's this earning aspect where you basically, jump into the game and you can actually start earning, and the game is not bad. So, it's not like you're playing some really crappy game and you receive tokens, but it was like a painful grind. No, you have nice 3D graphics and everything. But then again, I would have to look on other players. Like, why are they playing? What is the main reason of playing Big Time right now? Is it that the game is really fun? Well, for me, it's not. So if I would have to play it right now, well, it has some earning potential. Yes, we see it in 5 days after the launch. When new players are coming in, the demand is rising for now. But then again, how long this demand will sustain, and how long is this economy the game loop around earning can last, because at some point people are supposed to have fun. Now everybody's joining not to be like going for really adventure. No, they're joining in probably to make the money. And for next 3 months the campaign is all around the token drop. And this is another thing I want to talk about right now. Okay, another thing is basically what I love. Wolfsdal pointed out some mismatch info regarding the token. Basically, what's going on? Token on OKX has following allocation: 60% of the rewards are going through players, 20% of community referrals, 20 ecosystem plus treasury. But on Big Times Wiki, there's mentioning that token can only be earned by playing the game and defeating enemies. So you see kind of a lack of transparency here. I love Wolfsdao has pointed that out. And by the way, if you are not following them, I definitely recommend them to follow. There's like super smart community focused around Web3 gaming and researching. So they are on top of most of the Web3 games and they have really good people inside. But regarding the tokenomics, yeah, I don't really like that there's no transparency in the Big Time. I'm not saying that there's anything shady going on, but even this mismatch and the fact that there's no tokenomics in the white paper, it's a kind of red flag for me. All right, guys, so to sum it up, the game is entertaining, but it's not entertaining for a long time. I really like what they did, how they promoted like Web3 element. It's kind of directed into Web3 gamers, and there's nothing wrong about it. There's also nothing wrong about making the game about earning. But the thing is that I'm afraid that because they don't have so exciting game loop, people who are joining, there's just gonna be some at some point tired because if everybody's joining only to make money, then well, guess what? Some people will not make money because at some point it's going to be so hard to make money that it's not going to be sustainable and people will try to get out and everything will start to crash. But we've seen this before, although that being said, Big Time might have a long runway ahead of them. This is a really new concept, play to earn, so nobody actually knows what is the total right approach. And Big Time is definitely leading the charge. Their mega advantage is that they're one of the first movers. After Axie, basically, there was no game that was as close to completion as Big Time is right now, and they already launched it. They shown that in a bear market it can be done successfully. So this is a huge victory for them, and you have to give them a lot of respect for that. I would just want to see this game more exciting, and this is also possible because they just they are in early stages. It's not that the game is completely finished. I don't have high hopes for that because right now the core game loop is running through similarly looking dungeons, killing similarly looking NPCs, and just, collecting loot is exciting because you can actually drop an NFT that is worth even $1,000 or $2,000. Of course, market's already estimating those prices kind of based on hype because, like, if you compare the most of the prices from week ago and now they're like 5-10x some of the assets, so definitely you have to keep that in mind. This is usually generated by hype. So yeah, guys, definitely if you are interested in Big Time, I would check it out. Game is free to play. You don't need to be immediately like jumping in and earning the game. You can find out for yourself if this is a game you want to play, and if you see that you really like it, because maybe this is my personal opinion, I am not a fan based on other games that I've played with from similar genre, but that's just my opinion. It will not change anything what happens in the market, right? If most players will like it, the game will pump and actually you'll be able to make money. And I'll be staying there looking at you from the ground and you will look at me from the moon and say like,
Well, Drow, you're a dumb bitch. It's possible.
but well, I'm pretty comfy where I am at this point. I'm not jumping in on the game. I'm not hyping. Actually, few NFTs that I had collected through the previous season, like pre-seasons or like open open game stages, I sold, so a little profit. And I'm playing from time to time, maybe counting on some NFT drop. If it drops, then awesome. I'm really not that big on farming this token right now because yeah, at some point there's going to be people will try to sell it off, and I don't know if there's just so many players out there that are going to be interested in this in Web3 space right now because For Web 2 audience, I just think that they still have better games to play. And unless they are lured by earning aspect, which is pretty easy to make, that's why I must say this is another big victory for Big Time, that people are able to start their game like with signing up with Google, with Twitter. So you will have your wallet created, so it's easy for them to onboard and actually start to make money. So unless this is going to lure new players, well, I don't think it will last. And then I'm kind of feel bad for the new players that are joining and have no idea what's going on, because there are players who've been playing before, they have already a lot of assets, and well, they can simply dump on them. We will see. Supply, demand, basics of the market. We will see how it plays out. It's definitely worth looking at Big Time right now. Keep in mind that regardless what's happening right now with the token, if the token will go down, Big Time's narrative might actually come back. So I would really watch how many players are actively still playing during this period of bear. Are there really more people coming because they're genuinely interested in the game? This is something that I will be probably watching, and I recommend you do as well, because if there's going to be a bull market, Big Time can really hit strong with the narrative of play to earn. And because it has this first mover advantage, and already during the bear market, it created a lot of hype. And that is a super powerful tool, because a lot of game, they have just their initial mints or something and they die. And you see that Big Time is just generally bringing more and more people, regardless of their intentions. It is what it is, right? More people are coming. So when people will be okay with crypto in the next bull cycle, and suddenly like everybody will start to look at crypto again because everything is pumping, well, Big Time might be a really good play. So keep that in mind just for the future. Let's see what's going to happen. So guys, if you like this content, please subscribe, like, smash this like button, helps the channel grow. And just sharing my honest opinion about everything I see in Web3 gaming space. So please don't take it any personally that maybe I offend any of your favorite games here, putting it out there as I think. So guys, see you next time. Yo.